After Hashem destroys the world in Parshat Noach with the flood, the question that arises is, what now? What can the world do in order to remedy the cause for the destruction in the first place? How do we move forward from such a destruction? This is always a question that we have to ask ourselves when there's a transition between different times and different things, the phenomena that happen within the world. And especially after the world is destroyed and we're kind of going on a restart, we have to ask, what is the next step? We see that the next step that Hashem uses is a covenant. He makes a brit. Now this brit with Noach is in the form of a rainbow. Now this kind of seems like a very strange thing to do. Why would Hashem have a rainbow as a covenant? How does this help the issues that caused the flood in the first place? How does this enable the world to transition into a better world after the flood? Rav Kook has a beautiful interpretation as to what the rainbow comes to represent. In general, a rainbow isn't actually anything at all. It's just the same light that we saw before refracting in a different way. And that's exactly what the rainbow is trying to represent in this brit. A rainbow takes light and breaks it up into different colors. Beforehand, it was just white light, and now that same light is broken down into 7 different colors across the spectrum of the rainbow. Now, what is that coming to represent? In general, big ideas are difficult to actually be made tangible into everybody's life. You might be able to come and say that everybody should be a good person. Now, what does that mean? How do you become a good person? How do we accomplish that? That's a much more difficult question than the notion in itself of being a good person. There was no mitzvot, no commandments before the destruction of the world in the flood. The world went down, and everybody probably knew that it would be the right thing to be a good person. However, because there was no commandments, there was no structure, society fell apart. The rainbow comes to represent a new order, a new way of looking at being a good person, a new way of interpreting or looking at the light. Now this light, as a general concept, is a white light that's hard to encompass into everyday life. So what Hashem did was He broke it down. And right after the rainbow, the Torah gives us the Sheva Mitzvah B'nai Noach, the 7 different colors of the rainbow that we can tangibly interpret into a way to be a good person. Now these 7 mitzvot are very simple. They all fall back under the category of be a good person, be moral. Don't kill, don't steal, create batei dinim, etc., etc., etc. Those are the Sheva Mitzvah B'nai Noach, the 7 Noachide laws. And so what Hashem did is He transformed the way He interacts with mankind. Mankind is no longer led in a way where they just have a big concept of be a good person, but rather they're led in such a way where they're given direction as to how to implement that. Parshat Noach starts the beginning of the Torah as a book that gives us clear direction as opposed to just a concept that we have to try to figure out how to adhere to. Shabbat Shalom.